For Jennie, it wasn't a specific moment, but a gradual, undeniable truth that settled deep in her heart. She loved Lisa, not just as a best friend, though that love was immense and true, but with a yearning for something more. Since they first met, Lisa's bright energy, infectious laugh, and genuine kindness had captivated Jennie. She had subtly, patiently, tried to bridge the gap between friend and more, offering quiet support, remembering small details, hoping one day Lisa might see her differently. Lisa, meanwhile, existed in happy, genuine oblivion, cherishing Jennie as her irreplaceable best friend, completely unaware of the depth of feeling directed her way. Their bond was undeniable, a comfortable, safe haven, but for Jennie, it was also a place of silent, hopeful longing. My favorite person. The words were balm and bittersweet poison to Jennie's heart. They were so close, a comfortable, perfect fit. But it was the fit of best friends, not lovers. As Lisa continued to flip through photos, laughing and reminiscing, Jennie watched her, a silent wish echoing in her heart. That one day, Lisa would see her not just as her ride or die friend, but as the person who had loved her, patiently and silently, for years. Graduation night arrived, a culmination of years of hard work and shared dreams. For Jennie, it was also a carefully orchestrated moment. She had chosen her dress with extra care, spent longer on her hair and makeup, wanting, just for one night, to be seen differently by the one person who mattered most. She walked into the hall, nervous but hopeful, searching the crowd for Lisa. And when their eyes met across the room, something shifted. For the first time, Lisa saw Jennie not just as her familiar best friend, but as a stunning young woman, bathed in the celebratory lights. And in that instant, something in Lisa's chest fluttered, a strange, new rhythm. walked through the hall, the air around Lisa felt different. Lighter, yet charged with a new, confusing energy. She had seen Jennie a million times, knew every angle of her smile, every quirk of her expression. But tonight, she had seen her with new eyes, eyes that suddenly saw beauty, grace, and a captivating presence she hadn't recognized before. And with that recognition came the terrifying realization of what those new feelings meant. The flutter in her chest wasn't just admiration. It was the unwelcome, undeniable start of a romantic crush on her best friend. University life began, mirroring their plan. Same university, same dorm, close proximity. For Jennie, it was a chance to continue their closeness, to build their future together, maybe even nurturing the spark she hoped she saw on graduation night. For Lisa, however, the close proximity was a constant, agonizing reminder of her burgeoning feelings and the ever-present fear of them spilling over and ruining everything. The easy, physical closeness of the dorm became a source of anxiety, pushing her to create emotional distance. She retreated into her studies, the demanding curriculum of her faculty a convenient, justifiable shield. Lisa didn't look back. She couldn't. Each step away from Jennie was a step further into the lonely, guilt-ridden world she was creating for herself. The sight of Jennie's slightly hurt expression lingered in her mind, a constant reminder of the cost of her fear. She buried herself in the library, the complex world of engineering a welcome shield against the far more terrifying complexity of her own heart and the best friend she was slowly, unintentionally, pushing away. The distance became a chasm. Lisa's excuses grew more frequent, her presence in the dorm rarer. Jennie, heartbroken by the unexplained withdrawal, found herself increasingly isolated. Her attempts to connect met with polite but firm deflection. Around this time, Lisa began spending time with Rosé, a classmate from her demanding faculty. Rosé, easygoing and observant, provided a much-needed outlet for Lisa's stress and confusion. Lisa, desperate for someone to talk to about the terrifying state of her feelings, confided in Rosé, who, dating her own best friend, offered a unique perspective. Lisa found solace in Rosé's understanding, the shared experience of falling for a best friend creating an unexpected bond. Unbeknownst to Lisa, however, her new closeness with Rosé, coupled with her continued distance from Jennie, was about to create a painful misunderstanding that would bring the brewing crisis to a head. For Jennie, Lisa's continued distance was a raw, open wound. Her confusion had morphed into pain, her questions into silent heartache. Adding to her distress was Lisa's visible, easy companionship with Rosé. Seeing them together, laughing, talking closely, sharing comfortable silences that Jennie used to share with Lisa, felt like a cruel twist of the knife. Unaware of the true nature of Lisa and Rosé's conversations, and hurting from Lisa's withdrawal, Jennie's mind jumped to the most painful conclusion. Lisa had pulled away because she had fallen for Rosé, finding a new, easier connection that made their long friendship suddenly less important. The weight of her misunderstanding settled upon Jennie, heavy and suffocating. The distance she had already felt from Lisa was now compounded by the pain of perceived rejection and replacement. Seeing Lisa and Rosé's innocent closeness through the lens of her own unrequited love and Lisa's unexplained withdrawal had led her to the most devastating conclusion. Heartbreak settled in, quiet and profound, leaving Jennie alone with the bitter taste of what she believed was a love lost before it ever had a chance to begin. The ache in Jennie's chest felt unbearable. Unable to face the dorm, the library, or the crushing weight of her perceived reality, she sought refuge in the anonymity of a dimly lit bar off campus. The sharp bite of alcohol seemed like the only thing strong enough to dull the pain of seeing Lisa with Rosé, the pain of feeling abandoned and replaced. She drank slowly, the quiet hum of the bar a stark contrast to the turmoil in her heart. As fate would have it, she wasn't completely alone in her misery. Acting on Jisoo's urgent message, Lisa rushed to the bar, heart pounding, her mind racing with fear and confusion. Seeing Jennie there, looking heartbroken and vulnerable, fueled by alcohol and misunderstanding, finally shattered the last of Lisa's resolve to hide her feelings. The confrontation that followed wasn't in a quiet room, but in the low hum of the bar, raw, emotional, and long overdue. The truth, once so terrifying to Lisa, became the only thing that mattered in the face of Jennie's pain. The bar's gentle noise, they held onto each other, the air vibrating with the raw emotion of long-held feelings finally confessed and devastating misunderstandings finally cleared. Seeing the heartfelt union, Jisoo got off the stool and went to Rosé, who stood a bit far from the scene to avoid another misunderstanding. Leaving the bar behind, they found a quieter spot near the campus, the late-night air cool against their faces. The intensity of the confrontation and confession had left them shaken, but the relief was immense. The misunderstanding had been cleared, the fear had been voiced, and the truth, the astonishing, beautiful truth of their mutual love, hung in the air, palpable and shimmering with possibility. This wasn't just a make-up after a fight. It was the tender, fragile beginning of a love story years in the making, finally stepping out of the shadows of friendship. Under the soft glow of the campus lights, two best friends, their hearts laid bare, shared a tender, trembling kiss. It was a kiss that tasted of tears and relief, fear and overwhelming hope. The years of quiet longing, the weeks of painful distance, the misunderstanding that brought them crashing together. It had all led to this moment. Lisa and Jennie, no longer just best friends, but two souls finally finding their way to each other in love, stood intertwined, ready to write the most beautiful chapter of their story together.